Hey guys, Alex here from thetechnicalclass.com, coming to you with a quick review of the Fujifilm Instax Mini LiPlay. That's a lot of mouthful of words, so let's just call it the Instax LiPlay. The LiPlay is technically a point-and-shoot camera, and it looks the part, but it has a printer on top for small color prints. Well, the camera has a resolution about 5 megapixels from a 1/5-inch sensor. It belongs in the category of fun cameras that friends would use to share printed photos quickly or even in small party, so you can give your loved ones a memento of the event. It's priced at 9,899 pesos, or about 190 US dollars, and the price is quite alright, given that it is a point-and-shoot camera with a color printer in one. And yes, we do consider it a printer because you can use the Instax LiPlay app on your phone to print virtually any photo you have from any source, as long as it is transferred to your phone. So it doesn't have to be taken on the LiPlay, but the LiPlay can print it too. Quite a handy feature. Film costs about 350 Philippine pesos, or about 7 US dollars for 10 prints, which means a photo print is about 35 Philippine pesos. You can get cool versions like this one with glitter on it, aside from the camera's built-in filters and borders, to customize your prints and make it a little bit more, pizzazzy. It's a fun little camera. It's so small that it definitely fits in your pocket. Quite a feat because most Instax cameras are pretty big. It's a cool design too, and rectangular, and looks like an upright digital camera. It looks right at home with most modern devices, yet evokes that Instagram retro feel. Ours is the bluish, blush gold color, but if you want a more gender neutral one, you can get a nice carbon-like black and speckled dirty white version. So what are the photos like? Well, they're pretty good for the most part. This is a point and shoot through and through, and generally you don't use Instax cameras to squeeze out the most detail from careful photography. Instax cameras are mostly used for spontaneous photos that evoke emotion more than detail. But for a 1/5-inch sensor, the photos turn out great. They don't have super top-notch dynamic range or resolution, but we think the photos turn out alright, And what we really like, here you go, is that the camera is fast. It boots up fast, it shoots fast. The time it takes is pretty quick for boot up, and then shot to shot is pretty short, and it might even overtake most smartphones today, unless in a low contrast scenario where it has a hard time to focus. Otherwise, you can shoot quickly without much fuss. But use it sparingly though. This camera's main failing is the small battery. We can only manage about 50 shots before it gets fully drained. That's much lower than most point and shoots, so just keep that in mind. Most cameras are like 300 shots minimum. Thankfully, you can top it up with a micro USB charger or power bank, but having downtime to charge a camera in the middle of your day is a little bit of a downer. Now let's talk about the prints. This is what sets Instax apart from most cameras these days. So the print quality is pretty good. You get 800 by 600 pixel image in a 62mm by 46mm sized print. There's 16 million colors here, though admittedly the prints have seemingly lower dynamic range than even the sensor here, typically blowing out the sky and making dark areas completely black. But like I said, these cameras aren't meant for pixel peepers. They're meant for memento keepers, eh? That's a nice one. And looking at this album of our Davao trip this August, I think we have a great little scrapbook collection to remember the trip by. Now, some of these were printed but were taken by my smartphone, like this one. That's because you can use the Instax LiPlay app on your phone to send over a photo of your choice to the LiPlay camera for printing. These 5 photos over here were printed using that method. As mentioned, it's a nice way to have a handy printer when you want it, especially printing other people's smartphone photos. Speaking of the app, it's handy and packs a few cool features. This is where you can check your remaining film stock, assign new borders onto the shortcut buttons up here, playback sound from your sound photos, more on that later, and print, as we've mentioned, photos from your phone. You can also use a live view mode to use your camera remotely to shoot the LiPlay, but unfortunately, the camera doesn't have a tripod mount, so that seems like a moot point. Talking about physical limitations, the camera itself is obviously designed for vertical shooting, and it's probably the best ergonomics on an Instax so far. But it does not fully support landscape mode shooting, as the icons on the back screen don't rotate. And the shutter, as with most Instax cameras, is in an awkward place in front, not on top like most cameras, you know? You can review the photos on the LiPlay using its relatively clear back LCD, and you can change the borders after the fact of your photos. But the filter effect, you can't change. Also, you can't download the photos onto your phone for sharing online. You'd have to take away the SD card from the slot, put it in your phone or put it in your PC, which can be a bummer. There's the big button in front of the Instax that lets it record audio when taking photos. This is a feature to create greeting card style audio messages tied to photos and access via QR code, which you scan from the prints. Creative types will definitely be able to play around with this, embedding possibly fun greetings or secret messages for their loved ones, but it does require an extra step of QR scanning by the receiving party, and admittedly sharing a video instead would likely be better. But it's fun sometimes to go back to these days of static images with audio, so that's what the feature does. Overall though, this is a pretty generous offer from Fujifilm. To have a fun point and shoot on you that fits in your pocket, looks stylish and cool, and can even output fun, memorable prints and sometimes audio prints is great. It's lightweight, built pretty solid, and we hope Fujifilm improves the software both on the camera side and the app so we can download photos, have more shooting styles or designs and stuff like that. And who knows, maybe they can tweak the image processing algorithm to squeeze out more color and dynamic range to make those photos pop just a little bit more. But as it is, it's a nice portable Instax with charm and a conversation starter for sure. If you're buying a point and shoot for fun, why not get one of these? We give the Fujifilm Instax Mini LiPlay a highly recommended award for basically being the only instant camera out there that is practical, because you can put it in your pocket and does a great job while looking really nice too. And that's how I'll end my review. I'm Alex from thetechnoclass.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.